Why, hello, everybody. Welcome to week 9 here in Fundamentals of Criminal Law. Before we get started talking about what we've got going on this week, let me kind of just talk a little bit about the exam that y'all just took. Those of you that took it did excellent on that. We had no grade below a C, which is great, and 3/4 of the class made either an A or a B. So those are the results I like to see. Now, I mentioned those of you that took it. There's about a largest number of people that didn't take an exam that I've ever had in a class this size. Um, you've got to get these exams done. You're late on the exam. Make sure you catch up. We've got a lot of students who are in jeopardy of failing the course because they're not keeping up with the course. You've got to remember you've got to keep up to date on things. Okay, the other thing, your case reviews came in. Pretty good results. I did have, I think, one student who wrote a research paper, and they're going to have to redo it. And then I had another, I believe, 3 students that got the case wrong, got the decision wrong. They either wrote about the lower court decision or somehow misinterpreted what the court said. So with that said, when we get to the next case review, make sure you're very careful to figure out what the decision is. Reread it, start over. Figure out where the appeal came from, what the lower court's decision was. You know, for instance, if the trial court allowed a piece of evidence into evidence and the appellate court said overturn that and said no, that piece of evidence shouldn't be there, and the state then appealed it to the Court of Criminal Appeals. If that court overruled the decision of the lower court, they're overruling the decision of the Court of Appeals, not the trial court. So they agreed that the evidence should be allowed. So be careful when you're looking at things like that. Also remember that this next case has to be a case relating that was heard by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals and no other court. So just keep that in mind. So let me get out of the way and we'll talk about what else we've got going on this week. So this week we are going to be looking at Title VII in the Penal Code, specifically the offenses against property, chapters 28 through 30. Start working on your exam review as you read the chapter, watch the video, and then take the all-important quiz, making sure you make at least a good grade on it, at least a 70, and preferably a 100. Remember, you can retake it till you get a 100. And then you've got the 2 discussions that you need to complete, the original on discussion 7, and then hopefully you already completed the follow-up post to discussion 8, and you use that as part of your exam review. But if you haven't, make sure you get that done this week. Just kind of be careful, make sure you get all the work done. We've got a lot of students in this class who are getting behind, and they're not going to complete the course because not that they can't do the material, they're just not doing it in a timely manner. So just kind of keep that in mind. Quite frankly, those people are probably not watching this video, so it's, I'm probably preaching to, as they used to say, preaching to the choir. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. I will talk to you again next week.